On episode 9 of This Week in Video Games, Michael went to Red Bull's headquarters to get his game on with David Walsh, a pro gamer. Plus, we're interviewing Katon Calloway from God of War 3, and we've got another showdown.
Hello everybody and welcome to This Week in Video Games number 9. I can almost not count them on my hand. It's crazy. I am here, Michael Ludden, with my lovely co-host Andrea Renee.
Hello everybody!
And my good buddy Katon Calloway from God of War 3.
Hello.
So Katon, who are you?
Well, my name is Katon Calloway, and yeah, I worked on God of War 3 as a senior character artist.
Yeah, you did. Very nice. So we have got a lot for you on the show. I did an interview with pro gamer David Walsh at Red Bull, like we said, and we've got some other stuff. We got an interview with Katon down the road, but actually he's in the room now because I don't know if you know this about him. He's a ridiculously good gamer in addition to a ridiculously good artist, and we're going to show some of his art later. But right now we're going to show you about his gaming skills because he's going to play with us in the showdown, and we are actually, I can't believe I'm getting to say this. Yes, that's right, the showdown. We are actually going to play Scott Pilgrim versus the world. Yes!
Yes, very cool.
And because our producer just needs to play with us, he loves this game so much, we're going to play 4-player with Derek off screen and Katon and Andrea and I. So let's get this started.
If you guys don't know about this game, it just came out about a week ago for the PlayStation Network and XBLA. It won Best Downloadable Game by GameSpot and Game Trailers at E3 this year. It, of course, coincides with the movie release. It's a classic side-scroller based on the graphic novels of the same name.
There we go.
All right, here we go. Now we get to choose characters. I will be this guy, Stills. Okay, so I'm Stills.
Aha.
Andrea, who are you?
The girl with the red hair.
Okay, cool. Who are you,
Kim.
Katon?
The girl with the green hair.
Wait,
Ramona.
go back.
Okay, so Katon is Ramona.
She melted snow and she ice
Kim,
skated in the
okay,
movie.
here we go. Everybody press A one more time. What? That's awesome. This is my first time playing this game. I've wanted to get it.
This is my first time playing this game, too.
It's so exciting. Katon, you played it though,
Thankfully
right?
played the demo.
So good.
So we'll see.
Fits right in. He was doing his research for the show. That's what.
Yeah,
it
we'll
was.
see how this goes.
Okay. Of course. Die. No, I died. I heard this game was hard. This reminds me of Double Dragon right now, instantly.
Oh, it's totally like Double Dragon.
I get to die. Yeah! Called an uppercut, son. I threw.
Oh, whoa, that was awesome.
I am. Wow. How
I did
much
a-
punishment does this guy need?
I did a hammer slam.
I'm a violent man. I
Look
want
at that
coins
cash.
though.
How do
Can
you
he
do
die?
that?
What? He's not dead?
These guys take a lot of energy.
I just slammed into the ground like 20 times.
Look at my hammer.
Thank you. Oh, coins. Need them. Yes.
Double tap forward, you can run.
This reminds me of
Thank
that, do you remember that arcade
I just
Simpsons
ran
game?
into-
Oh,
You used to
totally.
play at
Yes.
like the roller skating
Yes.
rink? That
That
was
was
like my
awesome.
all-time favorite
That
one.
was so hard.
Oh, I'm throwing you. I'm not trying to. Sorry.
What is
He's
that
got a
guy?
trash can, look
I'm
out.
beating up a nerd. That's not cool.
Oh, he's kicking my
So
ass.
wait, when do we fight the first X? Well, who are these guys? They're minions or something? Do we
I'll
even
let you
know who
fight
they
the
are?
first X for a little while.
I have a trash can.
Okay, see, I can hit this guy on the ground a million times. You know what? I'm going to use
Wanna
him
Do you
as
want me to
mine.
throw the
with you.
trash
Hold
can
on.
at him?
Hold him? Okay.
I don't know if we can we?
I don't know. How to,
No
oh,
tag
here.
team.
Here.
Just throw them with Y, I think.
There we go.
Yes.
I'm still got the trash can.
Bat.
I'm ready to throw it at somebody.
I want the bat, dang it. Okay, I'm going to grab a trash can too.
Yes, here we go. Wait, oh!
I want to throw it though. See?
I tried to throw it. It just dropped it.
Dude.
Oh, I can hit people with
Okay,
it.
so I saw the movie. Katon, you saw the movie, right?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah? That's.
I like the directing and like the style of the whole movie.
It's too bad that it completely flopped. I think it appeals to us, but it doesn't appeal to a wide enough demographic.
Yeah.
Like, people were asking, why are they turning into coins after you beat them?
I like that it opened with some Zelda music.
Yes. I thought the whole thing was going to be Zelda, though. I got actually disappointed.
I feel like these amounts of money we're getting are very trivial.
I think
Yeah,
you can
they are.
block with B.
This game has a lot of replayability, though. That's why it's trivial. You can build it
Oh,
up over
someone
a
just
long
threw a
period of
baseball at me.
time. Throwing.
God. How do we get this guy out of here?
I hope this trend continues, honestly, of 8-bit games. Oh, I fell off the road.
Oh,
Oh, what
I
the-
thought we
I
were
don't know
supposed
why
to jump
there's
in
a
there.
pit there. What?
You know what this also looks like is Dodgeball. Remember that game? Super
Yes,
Dodgeball?
yes.
These guys with flat heads?
It's true. It's very cutesy style. Okay, come on. I want to fight a boss. It's probably going to be a while though, huh?
Yeah.
So when are we calling this a game? Okay, maybe let's get to one more screen and then we're gonna call this a game, a fun intro to Scott Pilgrim.
So now you guys can tell all your friends that Scott Pilgrim is awesome.
And you know what?
You can do four-player co-op.
I actually have a question for both the chat room and people via email. Email us at videogames@thisweekend.com and Twitter, TWI Video Games. Tell me which is better, this or the movie? The game or the movie? Obviously, it all comes from the comic, the webcomic, if you don't know. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World was originally a webcomic, and then it became a movie, and now it's a game. Actually, they were developed around the same time. I'm sure the game was in development longer, actually.
Ooh, cash.
But tell me what's better, the movie or the game? Because I'm sure this takes a lot longer than we have to get into. All right, let's beat this guy up and call it a game. That was a double uppercut right there.
Ooh,
Sense. Yay!
Very awesome. Finally,
We
a
all
game
won.
where I
That
don't
was good.
lose.
Nobody has to wear the hat of shame.
Yay.
Good
That's
times,
awesome.
good times.
I was a little worried about wearing the hat.
Yeah, well, you were good. You were good. We didn't get to see your game skill, though, unfortunately.
You should check out how much money I had.
Oh, did you have more than us?
Probably.
Wow. I was telling everybody you're humble, too.
You know what? I didn't even look and see who had the
I'm
most
joking,
money.
I don't know.
I got a kiss at the end of the game, so it's all good. But we heard that you have to do some preparing for our big interview later.
Yeah?
So
Yeah,
we're going to start our
Alright.
big news segment. Are you going to hang
Sure.
out?
You want to hang out?
I'll
Okay,
hang if
all right,
you
cool.
mind.
Just
Let's
prepare
get
mentally.
started with our news. Top story of the week, of course, Gamescom is just finishing up over there in Germany. I'm pretty sure they're all done over there. Maybe some residual parties.
Yeah.
Things going on. But Gran Turismo 5 speeds away with Gamescom's top prize. Yes, it got
What?
Best of Gamescom. Here is some footage from the trailer so you guys can check out. In case you guys don't know, what Gamescom is kind of they announce awards that are like the equivalent of the Game Critics Awards. There's a jury press and industry figures selected by the organizers of the event that hand out awards in several categories. Gran Turismo 5 is the long-awaited racing game that from Sony and Polyphone Digital. It won in 2 categories. Not only did it get Best of, but it also got Best Console Game.
Wow. Now tell me, is this frame rate what the game's actually going to run at, or is that something to do with our video?
I think that this is just a preview trailer. This is not actual gameplay
it's like
footage
24
as far
frames
as
per
I'm
second.
Oh,
aware.
I think it's in-game. It's just not real time, like when you're playing it.
Oh, okay.
You know how they always play after the races?
Yeah. Is it going to be 24 frames per second? Because I'd love this game to be like 60 frames per second.
I'm sure it's got to be more than
I
24
think
frames
it's
per second.
fine at
I would
60.
love to look
That'd
that
be
up. I
awesome.
think
That'd
we're
be
going to have to do that. This game is due out in North America on September 19th, so if you guys want to pick up Gran Turismo 5. I want to just quickly go over some of the other announcements that happened at Gamescom. Best hardware accessory went to the PlayStation Move, of course. I think we all
interesting.
saw that one coming. Best handheld mobile game went to Super Scribblenauts.
Yeah, that game's awesome. That game's
Very
pretty
cool.
sweet.
Best online game went to Guild Wars 2. Best PC game went to Crysis 2. And Best Family Entertainment went to Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Guild Wars 2 over the World of Warcraft expansion, Cataclysm?
Yeah, apparently that's what they all
Interesting.
voted on.
So it looks like the game is going to run 60 frames per second. So that's just maybe something on our encoding or the full time or the whatever it is pre-rendered stuff that we were watching. I don't know that was actual game footage.
No, it was a trailer.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
definitely
cool,
not
cool.
gameplay. So.
Well, that's cool. I mean, that's interesting. PlayStation Move 1, that was not a given for me. But I guess Microsoft displayed the Move in like these little bubbles because there was like interference with people walking around in the background. And so I think maybe that took away from their presentation. And the Move, the games were all like, they all reacted really well. And we'll get into it later in the show, but the Move games, they're not looking so hot right now.
The PlayStation Move
No,
games?
I'm sorry. The Kinect games. The Kinect games, they're not.
Yeah, that's the other thing that I think would have competed for best hardware accessory is
Yeah.
the Kinect,
Yeah.
but there's been, like you said, a lot of criticism about the Kinect and its interface. And
we'll get into that. There's a game
Yeah.
I want to show you guys later in the show. It's kind of funny seeing this person play this game. But right now, from Gran Turismo 5, which is a great game, to a game that may or may not be great. You know, there haven't been that many releases this month of games, and one of the big ones was Mafia II. So before I say anything about the reviews just came into this game. Watch the trailer.
Hey, so I was watching this thing on TV last night. This guy was on. One of them vegetarians, you know? Those freaks who don't eat meat. He was talking some shit about how it's bad to kill animals for food. As far as I'm concerned, I'm all for killing, if it's for a good reason. And eating this steak is definitely a good reason. So, what about you, Vito? You against killing animals? How about, you know, the, human animal?
You should have thought of that before.
Oh, what's that stink? Eddie, you puke?
Oh, no. It must be Frankie Potts.
That asshole puked in your car?
Nah, he's in the trunk.
What?
There it is. There's the Mafia trailer. So based on the trailer, that doesn't get me too jazzed to play the game. But the reviews are in, the Metacritic scores are in, and apparently the game is, it looks like it's hovering now at 74. It was 78 when I put this in, but it looks like it is now at 74 out of 100, which is not great.
Not that bad.
I saw some people buying it the other day at a Best Buy. These kids were buying it. They bought 2 copies. And I was like, are you sure you want to get that game? What about Kane and Lynch? And they're like, no, I'm pretty sure I want to get this game. I'm like, it got a Metacritic review of 74. They're like, there aren't any other games.
Did you really tell those kids
really
about
did.
the Metacritic review?
Come on, don't you know who I am?
Yes,
This is what
I
I
do.
do.
And how old are they?
They're like 12 and 14. They're like, what the heck is this guy? I'm just trying to exit the Best Buy as I was coming in.
It was funny that you mentioned Kane and Lynch because another gamer friend of mine who's also a lady, and she just told me she finished Katon Lynch 2, and she was like, if you are looking to take some rage out and kill some
She
guys.
finished it? She beat it?
Yeah, she did the whole game. She's like,
Wow.
that's a good game if you want to just kill people.
I heard it got terrible scores, though. Like, terrible reviews.
Yeah, well, it's probably one of
Katon
those
Lynch?
things
Yeah.
that you maybe don't want to purchase. Maybe
Yeah.
you want to just rent it. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
go through it, kill some people, and then take it back.
Yeah, I'm not even going to rent it.
You're like, not that interested.
But before we move on, I just wanted to say one thing about the game. It's kind of like, the original Mafia was kind of like Grand Theft Auto set in the 1950s, and this one is not as much like Grand Theft Auto. I guess it's more of a focused, story-based experience, where it is technically open world. It's a living city, but there aren't all these side quests to do like in Grand Theft Auto. But apparently, like, even you could see in the trailer, that was pre-rendered, and the lip-syncing was terrible. In Rockstar games, in the real-time cinemas, like, the lip-syncing is always spot on.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not too jazzed about the game. That's my point.
No, I never played the original Mafia, so I'm with you. This has not grabbed me and
Right.
been like, ooh, it looks awesome. I'm
Yeah.
like, there's just so many other games out there that are doing this open world
Yeah, it's
theme
true.
so much better. It's
Sure.
like, why would you half-ass it?
What open world games do you like, Katon?
I'm
If
not
any. Not a
I'm
big
not a
open world.
massive fan. I kind of liked, gosh, what was the two that came out? I'm just spacing it. The guys who made Sly Cooper and
Crackdown?
Sucker Punch.
Infamous.
Infamous and the other one.
Infamous is probably the best one.
Infamous is pretty cool. I like
Prototype,
that.
right?
And Prototype.
Okay,
But I
yeah.
didn't play Prototype. I play Infamous.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's pretty
PlayStation
fun.
only. I've heard that's a really good game.
Yeah, it was cool.
I want
like
it.
that. But I'm not a huge fan of Grand Theft Auto
Yeah.
or any of those
Really?
really.
See, I like the Grand Theft Autos,
Really?
which is weird
Did you
because
beat it?
I remember No, are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
right?
Are you
There's
kidding
too
me?
much to do.
There is.
It's
There's
crazy.
too many like you said. There's too many little side things, missions and things to go do. I mean, you would really have to devote a lot
Yeah,
of time to passing the game.
I know we got to move on, but the thing that pissed me off about Grand Theft Auto 4 is that every time I tried to do a mission, I would get a cell phone call. It was like real life. And the guy's like, I need your help now, or your points are going to go down in this area of the game. So I'd have to
Like,
like
I'm
veer
flying a
off and do that,
helicopter.
and then I'd die, and then like, I just got frustrated past the point. There's no way to turn the cell phone off. They keep calling
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
I mean, you can ignore it, but then,
You can beat people up. You can't throw your cell phone in the water.
yeah, you can't. It's crazy. Can't pull it out.
Well, speaking of Mafia, we have another Mafia game story, Mafia Wars. This is a Facebook app. If you guys haven't heard, it's like the most successful Facebook game, I think, ever. It's got like 13 million followers on Facebook of people that play this game.
Wow.
Now,
2
they
million
recently did a
138,000.
promotion that ran afoul of authorities. According to a website, the San Francisco Chronicle, City Attorney Dennis Herrera has threatened to sue the casual game developer for a recent marketing campaign that saw dozens of stickers applied to public sidewalks in 5 separate locations. These stickers were made to look like $25,000 bills, which is kind of ridiculous. Each promoting the Mafia Wars Las Vegas content that has recently been added to the game. Now, the Department of Public Works has said that they needed to use a special steam cleaner to get these stickers off the sidewalks, a process that took about 45 minutes at each location, and they're not happy about it. So they are threatening to sue, which is interesting because they're also entangled in another lawsuit. Zynga, the company that created Mafia Wars, is in a
Farmville,
trademark dispute, very popular Farmville, with Digital Chocolate over trademark disputes of who originally came up with the whole Mafia Wars idea.
Wow.
Yeah, so that could end up being pretty nasty for them if they don't get that settled.
Do you play Facebook games?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
You know, I used to do like the pet avatar games where you would like get like a little pet dragon and you like go and feed it and put little costumes on it.
Those are
and then
fun.
I got bored because like you'd go back and it'd be like there'd be flies around it because you haven't bathed it and things like that.
Did it just made you feel worse about yourself?
No, but I swear you leave it for one day and the poor animal's like dying.
See, this apparently we're in the minority because 28 million monthly active users is what this site says. Like, that makes World of Warcraft look like chump change with 10 million,
it might
11
be
million.
8 million people liked it, maybe.
Yeah.
Hit the like button.
Yeah.
Who knows what they're playing?
I only know a couple people that actively send me Mafia Wars requests, and then you get to click that ignore all invites from this friend because you're like, I don't want to be in your gang.
I get those like kingdom requests. It's like, come to my castle and be a king. It's like, what? I just want to check my mail, my messages, and talk to my friends on Facebook.
I think it's more of like a
kind
high
of an old
school
man
kid
in that
thing.
way. I don't
like
know.
you have a break between second and third period, and you want to kill some time, so you play Mafia Wars on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook frustrates me. It's kind of weird because I love Twitter because it limits me to 140 characters, and I can put like a link, right? One link. They're like short, quick ADD bursts, which fits my style well. But with like Facebook, there's so much stuff to do. There's so many tabs on my page.
Man, you get lost.
Crazy. I get so lost. Good times. So, okay, from Mafia Wars to Starcraft 2. Apparently, Starcraft 2 is not the top of the chart in one country. We're talking about Japan, where it does not have a localized version. So if we can bring up the website. Well, I don't know what is #1 in Japan. I think I probably can't read it. But it topped the charts in, like, I think 4 of 5 regions. But it actually cracked the top 5 in Japan without even having a localized edition. Like, it's not in Japanese at all.
So so everything in StarCraft 2 in Japan is in English, right?
Well, let's scroll back to that screen and let's show all the regions because.
There we go.
So there we go. That's I think that's the U.S. right, and then if we scroll down, that is UK. Thank you for.
Highlighted.
They're like specifying to me. Canada, it's StarCraft, right? And then Grand Theft Auto episodes from the.
I wonder if they just don't play PC games as much.
Germany. Yeah, that's probably
Like
true.
RTS.
Oh, France. Okay.
So StarCraft is #1 pretty much everywhere.
And then we got Japan. Look at this. What is that? That's on Windows. I don't even know what that is. It's some,
I take that back.
Anime thing.
They
What is
do.
it? What is that?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. But apparently, that's some Final Fantasy thing too. It's in the top 5. Completely different. But apparently, because here we're so like StarCraft 2 oriented. But I mean, we forget that like the video game industry came out of Japan, and they have a lot of really exclusive series that a lot of people really, really love and are really hardcore about. And StarCraft 2 is, you know, people don't play Blizzard games as much in Japan, even as in China, where they play a lot more World of Warcraft in China than Japan. I just thought that was interesting.
That is interesting. I mean, obviously it broke a lot of records, so it's definitely worth talking
Are there even
about.
sales numbers yet?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
I
they
haven't
broke
seen
the record
anything.
for the fastest selling strategy game ever, 1.5 million units in the first 48
now
hours.
I just expect them to break that. I expect them to break the overall
That's it?
sales record each time.
I thought they'd. Wow.
Well, I mean, they have some
1.5.
really big stats to compete against.
It's true.
I mean, look at a game
There's
like.
such high expectations.
I mean, when Halo 3 came out, like that broke a lot of single-day sales records for products, not just video games. We're talking about products in general. Like it sold the most units in a single day of any product in the history of sales tracking.
Yeah.
So it's pretty
I
cool.
was just thinking it'd hit like 10 million first day, easy.
I know. I
That's
figured
like
just
Call of
everybody
Duty,
would get it.
Like 11 million day 1.
Yeah.
I thought StarCraft 2 would for sure do that.
Maybe the
1.5
PC.
million.
Come on,
maybe,
Blizzard.
Yeah, maybe that
Jeez.
crowd
I
doesn't
don't know.
have
I'm
as
just
much money.
surprised.
Much money.
In Korea alone,
Yeah, I know, right?
that's nothing.
It's true.
Maybe,
It's
I don't
true.
know.
It'd be interesting. We'll look it up and have those numbers for you guys next week. I have another story here. DJ Hero 2. If you guys are DJ Hero fans, it's spinning into stores on October 19th. Activision has told GameSpot, among other people now that the news is a couple days late, that they have this music mixing sequel will hit for the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, and the Nintendo Wii in North America on October 19th, and it'll hit Europe on October 22nd if you're in Europe. This is the trailer that came out for the game. It was previously announced, just to hit stores sometime this fall. So now they have a specific date.
Do I get to draw black lines with my movements? Well, throw ink on the screen?
Not exactly. These are just two really cool beatboxers that are doing this really cool demo. The game will come in a variety of bundles that includes the Party in a Box set for $149.99 that includes a copy of the game, 2 turntables, which is a new feature, and a microphone, as well as the single turntable bundle, which is only going to be $99. But I mean, come on. For $50 more, I'd get the double turntables. Yeah. So you can compete with a friend.
By the way, you two should compete in Guitar Hero at some point. This is who I was talking about. When we were talking with Jeremy Rogers in one of our first episodes, one of the sound designers on Guitar Hero, who was really good. And I think you two should compete in Guitar Hero. You still are really good, right?
I probably could. I haven't played in forever.
I want that.
I may be good.
I want that so bad.
Like,
because she would dominate me. You dominate me all the time.
Oh, that's right.
But, yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally.
We would play.
That's right. That's right.
I haven't played in a while, though.
Sorry, that was an aside. You guys should do a DJ Hero
it's okay.
tournament.
I do want to let you know that the Activision did confirm that there's going to be 105 songs for DJ Hero 2, including new breakout artists like Deadmau5, and of course Lady Gaga, Eminem, the Chemical Brothers. They're a classic electronica group, and big artists like David Guetta, who you may not know of, but he's fantastic. He's in the dance community. He's
David
really
Guetta,
famous DJ. It's
Love him.
Totally, yeah, he's the man. He's the man.
But 105 songs is a lot. That's really cool.
They just keep one-upping each other. I hope eventually it's like unlimited. That would be great.
Yeah, subscription service. I talked to the people at Harmonix about that for Rock Band. They're like, we're thinking about it. Maybe someday.
Score.
Yeah.
Score, because you got to upgrade your equipment every year anyway. That's like a built-in, subscription fee kind of thing. Okay, so my next story is a nerd story for me. It's about Diablo 3. There was some new artisan crafting footage released at Blizzard, and now I'm just going to sit back and let them play about 30 seconds of this footage.
Artisans can be improved over time. The artisan does this by using crafting materials you provide him to train and practice. As you can see, once you've acquired the right materials, the upgrade process is quick. The goal here is to put the time investment into acquiring the materials you need through fighting monsters, not have you spend tons of time in town with your vendor. One of the great things about artisans is that they are visualized in the world. As you can see, now that the blacksmith has leveled up, the look of his shop has improved. Here's an example of how much a single artisan can improve throughout the game with this fully upgraded blacksmith.
Yeah. Yeah. The guy was a little boring when he talked, but if you want to see the whole thing, I found it on Destructoid.com, so I'm just going to throw that to you. Go to Destructoid.com and look up the artisan trailer from Gamescom that Blizzard put out. I recommend watching the entire thing because it'll familiarize you with that system. It's not even combat, and it already looks awesome.
What just happened?
I just showed a little bit of,
I'm just curious. What could you... I don't know the games.
So basically they upgraded the merchant from like a crappy merchant through the experience of like bringing him exotic items and crafting things yourself. So this guy, you gain his loyalty, and then he follows you around throughout the game. So it's like a traveling caravan, your personal storekeeper or whatever.
Right.
And so he gets better as the game goes on. I just like the way the animation went. It was like, oh. I'm going to lose sleep over this game, that's for sure.
You are a big nerd, aren't you?
I was reading up about the Warcraft, yeah, I am. The World of Warcraft Cataclysm upgrade, and they were talking about how it's so much easier for new people to get involved. And I feel like a new person at this point because there have been a couple expansions since I played last. It's really tempting to go back to that world because they have so many cool new things like these mounts they loan you so that when you're a lower level character,
nice.
You get to progress along more quickly and you don't get destroyed by higher level mobs as easily. It's better planned. Okay, that's all for me. Now we're actually, earlier this week I was able to go to Red Bull's headquarters in Santa Monica and interview David Walsh, one of the world's top gamers. He's sponsored by Red Bull and they're doing a tournament next week in Raleigh, North Carolina, and they're live streaming now the practice. And they're actually practicing with one of their rival teams. Their team is called Carbon, and they're practicing with Heaven and Earth. And it's 4 guys on 4. These guys look like athletes, though. Their thumbs are crazy. But he also played me in Halo 3, and I'm not going to say how that turned out right now, but let's just roll the footage of my interview. All right, I am here outside the game room in the Red Bull headquarters in Santa Monica. I don't know how I got let in. I just kind of snuck on the lot. I'm going to interview, okay, I didn't actually sneak onto the lot, but I'm going to interview David Walsh, a pro gamer, and they're having a tournament in Raleigh next week, and they're live streaming their training right here, and I got the exclusive. What are you guys doing here?
We are practicing for a tournament coming up in Raleigh, North Carolina next weekend.
Wow, Raleigh, North Carolina. Why Raleigh?
That's just where the next stop is in the circuit. So
That's awesome. So, in Major League Gaming, you train with your opposing team. You're both here.
We chose a team that's on the other side of the bracket. So if we do end up meeting each other, it would be in the finals.
Okay.
And in that case, we'd both be very, very happy.
It's another team, at least, right?
Yes.
So you're seated. You were seated number 4. You're with Carbon, right?
Yes, we're going to this event, I believe, seeded 6th, and we're practicing against the 8th seed team here, Heaven and Earth.
So the seeds change.
Yes, they go by points from event to event. So each player has their own individual points they accumulate over the season. And
oh wow.
We picked up a new member, SK, and I don't want to blame him, but I think he has a lot less points.
So what are we playing?
Halo 3.
Okay, that's the official game of Major League Gaming.
Yep,
right
that's
now,
the
right?
title game of the circuit right now.
So, okay, for those who don't know who you are, which I'm sure is only 1 or 2 of you, because you are now the new face of gaming, take us back to the beginning. How did you get involved in professional gaming?
Gaming, like I'm sure a lot of people out there, has just been my biggest hobby forever. It's just always been on the side, whether I was working, school, sports, like gaming was the next thing I was doing. Just my main focus, pretty much.
Okay, so he, in case you don't know, he's won how many MLG Major League Gaming tournaments?
I think it's, as far as 4v4 goes, like close to like 23.
4v4, Halo 3, MLG. How many?
I think about 23.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You had a streak, right, where you were undefeated for a couple years with the team you were with back in the day, right?
It went something close to like a year and a half or 2 years without losing a single tournament.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And the team was called Final Boss?
Yes.
Because you were always the final boss, right?
Yeah,
So-
we with our lineup pretty much from, I want to say, since we teamed up, we didn't place out of the top 2 until 2008, I would say.
And
so
then you
it was
were
about-
like, got with another team, right?
Yep. Then we're
Nice,
just like, all right,
nice.
this is over. We placed out top 2.
You're like, number
Screw
2,
this.
whatever. So when you're practicing with another team, like you do in this room, where it's 4v4, right? And you're practicing, and they're right across from you, and they can hear you calling out your strategies. How do you develop these strategies and then keep them effective?
Well, that's the thing is like the best strategy is one that someone knows is coming, but they still can't stop it.
That's called domination, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Like, I
And
knew that was going to happen, and I couldn't stop
we
it.
want to be able to, like, we want them to try to break down our stuff and find any flaws in what we have so that we can fix that. So as soon as they find some counter to that, we're going to counter that. And we just want to, like, become as prepared as possible. We don't want to, like, come in with, one, like, little secret hoping that, all right, hopefully this works and hopefully nobody finds out, like, what we do or how to break it, because we want to just be able to be ready for everything, find the best possible thing for every possible situation.
That sounds like a good plan. So my plan when I play Halo 3 is I point the gun at their face and I try to shoot it. So that's is that a good strategy, or is
You got to cut out the try part and just do it. So.
Yeah. Very cool. So what times is it streaming?
We're going from 5 to 8 p.m. on Pacific time, so that's
Okay.
8 to 11 Eastern, and that's
at
on
this.
redbullusa.com/stream.
Look at this, some quick math too. That's a bonus. There it is. All right, let's have you kick my butt in Halo.
Let's get this over with.
You're not. Oh my gosh. He's a pro gamer, ladies and gentlemen, officially.
Doing it wrong.
Whatever. Okay,
Michael
so
equals Kitty.
first of all, if you're watching this live, sorry about we're having some clipping issues with the sound, but the entire interview is going to be online, and actually extended version of the interview later in the week, so be sure to check that out at thisweekend.com/videogames. Also, if you're not in the Ustream chat room and you're watching us live, why not? Just join the Ustream chat room. Okay? We want you there. We want you writing pithy comments to us so that we can comment on you. It's fun. And if you are, good on you. Wesley J, talking to you. Okay, so moving on swiftly from my butt getting handed to me.
But come
Did
on,
you
he was
see?
professional. Like,
Yeah, he's
like,
amazing.
he gets
He was
paid
good. Yeah.
to kick ass in Halo 3.
That's right. And I don't know if you saw some of those clips, like that was not sped up. That was like headshot with a sniper rifle, next guy headshot with a sniper rifle, bring out the rocket launcher, jump up, shoot 2 more people dead. Like, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I don't know how these people's thumbs don't fall off. It's nuts.
I wonder what their training regimen is for the warm-up. They're all
Yeah.
right,
Well,
left.
You might be able to see it in the extended interview. They cut it out of there, but when he was ready to play, he's like, okay. He was like, he had like his hand routine warming
That's
up
awesome.
thing. I'm like, so what is that? He's like, my hands are cold. And
Yeah.
then he was like, we better call the Guinness Book of World Records. I think we got a new record for the shortest match ever. I was like, thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
I'm sure those guys are pretty good at smack talking.
Oh, it was so fun though. It was so fun. That was a great. It was great fun to get to walk around. I don't know if you saw it. I went on the little Zen rocks in the Red Bull thing. Thanks for the "you're doing it wrong" thing, by the way, Lon. I heard that voice. That was Lon Harris, our producer, adding insult to injury. Okay, next story. Amazon kills Xbox 360 digital purchases just as GameStop starts theirs. So Amazon actually purchased a bit of downloadable content for Fallout 3 from Amazon, and they gave me a digital code because on Amazon you could actually go online and instead of using Microsoft's points, you could actually pay money, like $14.99 as opposed to like 600 Microsoft points, and I have 200 left over, which is the equivalent of $2.50, which is still on my Xbox Live account. I thought it was awesome, but I guess they decided to kill it. I don't entirely know why, but I know that GameStop is now selling online content from Xbox Live. They haven't said if they're going to sell it from the PSN, the PlayStation Network, yet. But I know they have a deal with Microsoft to sell for real money.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Xbox content online. What do you think about that?
I like that. I hate the points.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I am always like, I'm like, I have 250. Like, can I just like buy what I want and like go?
It's so
Yeah,
annoying.
They do it to keep you there and,
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Those
to-
leftover points are really just so you can like buy a hat for your avatar.
Totally.
Or things
Totally.
like that. You know what I mean? Because
Oh,
they
yeah, I
know
should do
that
that.
they know they're
No,
nickel and
don't.
diming
Don't do
you
that.
with
Don't do
with
that.
all
Don't
of
do that.
those little points. So I think this is a really great idea. I'm guessing the reason why Amazon got rid of that feature is because they could come to some kind of an arrangement with Microsoft.
Yeah.
I'm
makes
guessing
sense.
some kind of contract negotiation didn't go well, so Microsoft's like, fine, you can't sell our stuff anymore.
And
Probably, like,
GameStop can. I
Amazon
think
probably
that's
wants
weird.
like transaction fee, like a dose.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure commission, yeah.
Well, they did it for about 6 months. It's been going on for about 6 months. My thought is that they had a deal with Microsoft, and not a lot of people were taking advantage of it. And so Microsoft's like, screw you, we're going to go to GameStop because GameStop's the biggest brick and mortar retailer of games in the world. So I don't know. I like being able to pay for things with real money as opposed to
Yeah, the PS3 way.
Wii points or whatever. You know?
How the PS3 does it, I like.
Yeah.
It's just like you put your credit card info in and you buy it.
That's
It's the
awesome.
same way it
That's
is
awesome.
with Nintendo too, and the Wii. Like
No,
you
they have
buy.
Wii points, don't they?
Well, you can
No, it's
buy. You
Wii
can
points
pay
also.
straight up with your
What?
credit card.
Oh, maybe you can. I haven't bought a
Oh
Wii
wait,
download
you know
game in a
I
while.
haven't
but
bought
last
a
time I
virtual
checked,
console game in a long time.
was
I think
Wii
they're
points.
Wii points.
Yeah,
I mean,
same thing.
Nintendo never misses out on the opportunity to make a little extra cash on their systems.
Because they are hurting for money.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Speaking of, okay, this has nothing to do with that. I have no good segue here. Moving on to our next story. The full 83-track setlist for Rock Band 3 has been announced, and it was really interesting the way they announced it. There was a video from Gamescom, Cologne, Germany. These are people that work for Harmonix, a couple of them that I have met and talked with. They're really cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll some of this footage from this announcement about the track list.
Hey guys, John Drake here from Harmonix. I'm with Aaron and Daniel Sussman, our project director for Rock Band 3. I want to take a quick break from Cologne, Germany, where we're at Gamescom 2010. We've heard some rumors, some news has been swirling about the internet.
Some misinformation.
Yeah, there's definitely been some bad information out there, some leaks about the Rock Band 3 set list, which is not confirmed. I want to take a second here before our Gamescom, our busy day at Gamescom, playing with hundreds of thousands of German gamers, to tell you that we have not announced anything beyond the 38 songs for our Rock Band 3 set list.
38 great songs with lots more announcements to come.
Yeah, 83 songs, possibly our greatest set list ever, with 3-part vocal harmonies, pro guitar, pro bass, keyboards for the first time ever. It's an amazing game that you should really learn more about at rockband.com. But unless you hear it on rockband.com, you should know it's not confirmed news. Terrible websites like Giant Bomb and Rock Band-Aid, these places leaking songs, they're confirming as news. They just have to get money from advertisers. We're coming straight from the heart of Rock Band. We love Rock Band, we love you
Tracks
guys.
are
Just don't trust
scrolling.
bad information.
meaning they're giving away all of the tracks in the background, but without actually making an official announcement, because there's been many leaks online with speculations about what songs were going to be included, what songs weren't going to be on, and actual individual track names from artists. Like, there were artists confirmed, but the tracks weren't confirmed. And so this is kind of like Harmonic's way of being like, oh, really, you think you got the real list? Well, we're going to give you the real list without actually giving you the real list.
But the only thing I'm noticing is this guy's ridiculous hat, and he thinks he's really cool for wearing it too.
Well, I think it's really kind of clever that the way they introduced it without having to do a formal announcement, because obviously they realized that there was a lot of people at Gamescom who were publishing partial lists, and now this is their way of being like, okay, fine, you want to play a joke on us? We're going to play a joke on you back and make this stupid little video.
And make the journalists do all the work of like pulling out all the songs.
Exactly. So they're like, wait, pause it. Okay, rewind. Okay, now pause it again.
That's true. Guys.
Exactly. No, it's the set list looks really amazing. Some of the favorite tracks of mine that I saw, they have The Hardest Button to Button by the White Stripes, great song. Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, which is going to be amazing. Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting by Elton John.
Is it though?
It is. It's a good day to fight.
Just wanted to make sure. Okay.
Come on, Huey Lewis and the News, The Power of Love.
There you go.
How fun is that song?
I just want to drum to it.
And of course they have some really classic rock songs. Free Bird, Lynyrd Skynyrd, and of course the one that I'm most excited about playing, Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be insane to play on guitar,
We
but
need to get
it'll
it
be
on
really
video
fun.
when you do that.
How fun. Of me failing and going into practice mode and slowing it down 50%.
Isn't Freebird like 10 minutes long or something?
Well, I mean, come on. There was a lot of songs
like the
in
endurance
Rock Band
song,
2
like-
that were like 8 minutes long. It is an endurance song, exactly. The worst is when you think you're almost done and then you die and you're like, man, had it been so close, and it's like 62% finished and you're like, what?
That's me every time when I play on hard. Not medium. I'm okay on medium. I'm good on medium.
That fifth button gets you.
I get like 99%, but that fifth one, shifting. It's the shifting.
Yeah, it
you
takes
guys,
a lot.
tell me the technique. What is the technique? What do you have to do to shift properly?
You just have to train your finger to go over there.
Yeah. So you leave your other two around. You just shift your pinky.
I learned to slide a little.
Well, you
slide,
do
okay,
have to learn, because there's once you get into expert with the double and triple note combinations that can jump back and forth.
Oh, you don't play expert?
I try.
Yeah. Okay.
I try expert.
Oh, so you really think that he could beat me if he tries?
I haven't played this in a while.
Dude, this guy is a video game savant. You don't even understand. I told you he's humble.
Then we must have a showdown.
We must.
All right.
Yes. Yes.
Let's
do this. Okay, cool. We're going to figure this out sometime and get a showdown between you two.
To be determined.
All right.
Okay. This guy, he's like, well, I'll try. And he's like, like going crazy.
We'll see how it goes.
So you're a ringer. I see how it is.
Yeah.
He's a hustler, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Okay, so we got a new Left 4 Dead expansion. I'm kind of excited about. Have you played Left 4 Dead?
Only a little.
Yeah, so it's, the zombie shooter for all time. Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2, which came out within a year of Left 4 Dead. And a lot of people were like, that's messed up. I just bought Left 4 Dead, and now you're going to be focusing on Left 4 Dead 2. Well, this new expansion actually bridges kind of the gap, and you can buy it. It's called The Sacrifice, and it actually tells the story of how the last expansion, which was only for Left 4 Dead 2, called The Passing, but it gets really confusing. So the last expansion for Left 4 Dead 2 is called The Passing, but you played the characters from Left 4 Dead 1 on it, and in this expansion, The Sacrifice, you can buy it for either Left 4 Dead or Left 4 Dead 2, and you play the characters from Left 4 Dead 1, but it allows you to decide who dies in The Passing, and spoiler alert, somebody dies in The Passing. But I think that's why it's called The Passing. I think you know right off the bat that somebody died. But you get to choose who dies, and it tells the story of that. And it's available for both games. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. What do you guys think?
That's cool, I guess.
Has that ever happened where it's like they release the same, aside from music games, right? Aside from tracks.
I mean,
like
it's
actual
smart.
content.
I think it's kind of smart on their end just to
it's a way
release
for
it
them
for
to
both to make
recoup more money on their original investment
Yeah.
without having to spend a significant amount more in development.
So here's another jab at console gamers. It's free on PC. It's free, and it costs money on Xbox and PlayStation.
Well, I think that
because they know you'll pay for it.
Well,
you
that and it requires a whole different kind of programming to do it on a console than it does on a PC.
Come on, really?
Yeah.
Well, they've got this cross-platform thing going. It doesn't cost them
they
much
probably
extra.
got the system down.
Yeah, I mean,
my guess is no one will buy it on the PC. They'll just download it.
Exactly, illegally. So
they go, you know what, just have it.
Totally, that's what I think. So it's called Left 4
That's
Dead.
my guess.
Oh, can we show some footage from this? I actually got some.
Left 4 Dead 2, you have
Yeah, this is actually from Game Trailers TV. This is of the announcement, and this is footage of the passing. Let's actually listen to this a little bit.
Now, what's next?
True to form, Bill did die.
but you don't know how he died. And so now we have the sacrifice, and you get to learn how Bill dies. And that's going to come up for Left 4 Dead 1 and Left 4 Dead 2. Because we thought if you played the passing in Left 4 Dead 2 and you want to see what happened to lead up to this, we don't want to make you have to go buy Left 4 Dead 1. We want to be able to give it to you in DLC as well. And once we're going to convert the characters over into that, we might as well give you everybody's favorite No Mercy from Left 4 Dead 1. So you'll actually get No Mercy and the Sacrifice in the same DLC. You'll get to play as Zoe. She'll fight a Charger. You'll get to play as Bill.
Okay, so it will be a slightly different experience if you have Left 4 Dead 1 or Left 4 Dead 2?
Correct. And not only that, also Mac users now can play.
Wow, you're just rolling out with the news today.
There it is. It's coming out on both, and there's a little bit of a preview with a nicely bearded man.
Cool.
There we go.
Don't be jealous of his beard.
I am so jealous of anybody that can grow a beard. Can't grow a beard.
In the works.
Yeah. Really? You're gonna grow a beard?
I cut it these days.
How about this? You cut it if you beat her in Guitar Hero. No, I'm not gonna put you up to that. I don't know. I'm just thinking of things.
All right.
A way for you to grow a beard, I guess.
Yeah.
Winter is coming. You know, you might want to consider. Winter
Maybe.
in California.
You didn't know we talked
requires a
about
beard.
beards, did you guys? You didn't know that.
All right, moving on to our next story. The co-op RPG Neverwinter has been announced for PC. I have some gameplay footage. This is DDO, that's Dungeons & Dragons Online,
a lot of
for all of
icons.
you D&D fans out there. Atari and Cryptic Studios has announced a brand new role-playing game set in the Dungeons & Dragons world, Neverwinter. It's, pretty successful MMO developer. You know, they pegged Neverwinter as a co-op RPG. It's due out on the PC in the fourth quarter of 2011, so really that's about a year away. A little bit more than a year away, in fact. It gives the players one of 5 classic D&D classes to choose from. They can team up with the AI or human allies to create a co-op team of 5 characters. And players will also be able to create their own quests and stories using new content generation system that has been given the working title of Forge.
That is a lot of icons.
Is it just me, or does he have a fire sword and everyone's turning to ice?
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, I was never a big D&D player.
That's hardcore. I can already tell.
I don't know, maybe because I just never got into the whole fantasy thing. Even though I'm a huge Lord of the Rings person.
There you go. That's all you need.
But I prefer more, to me, there was too many components. You know what I mean? I had to do too many individual upgrades. And there were all these
that's way too many icons to have to figure out. That's ridiculous amount of spells.
Unless
to
your
click
monitor's
on.
like...
Yeah, like 5 monitors, and each one of them is a taskbar.
You got like the nice, beautiful 30-inch display that Apple has. Yeah.
Yes. What?
What? It's gorgeous.
Interesting they call it Neverwinter. I immediately thought of Neverwinter Nights.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I was like, wait,
but
is
it's
this
not related to that,
re-release?
is it?
I don't know. BioWare made Neverwinter Nights, right?
I think so. Yeah. That's interesting. I thought it was.
You just
said
I was like, Neverwinter. Did they simplify? Anyways,
yeah. What the heck?
Maybe they're trying to get
somebody enlighten
something
us.
going with the name. I don't know.
Very cool. Well, that game looks like it's going to be for the hardcore, more hardcore than me. Like I don't like to touch things that are that complex. That's way too many buttons to push at one time. Although he did seem like he was having fun jumping up and whacking people, those giants.
Killing people in video games is kind of like what we live for, isn't it?
So we don't know if that's good or not, but we can already tell you that Fighters Uncaged will suck. And that is based on the following preview that Joystick did. Just watch this guy and how he's playing this game. You're a fighter, and you literally just fight in the air with the Microsoft Kinect thing, and it's supposed to translate on screen. Just take a look at this.
Watch Julian gesture, you will see how it's reflected in the game. We have a mix of 1-to-1 and an animation triggering in game. The main challenge on this game is going to have an accurate triggering and gesture recognition. Each opponent has its own weakness. You see that you can, of course, dodge as well and block. Here, the weakness of Ryder are his legs.
So there you go. I don't think I really need to say anything. No. Like that would be so much better suited to just pushing buttons.
It
than
defeats
like
the whole purpose of being like a game that loves fighting games. You think about the hardcore gamers that play fighting games. I mean, come on, you guys have played the Wii boxing game, haven't you?
Yeah.
You play 1 or 2 rounds and your
You know what's
arms
cooler
hurt
than that
after
is
that, and you're
fencing.
sweating and you're breathing heavy.
Nothing about that looks fun to me.
No, it
especially
didn't look
not the
fun at
delayed
all.
input where I'm like, and it does one later. Plus, he's not a fighter. That's the whole point. Like when you're playing God of War, you're not Kratos. You're not gonna swing your chains around and defeat 1,000,000 undead legions.
Kratos on the Kinect.
And I don't want to try either. I want to push a bunch of buttons and have him be awesomer than I could ever be.
Yeah.
See, and this is where I think the Move is really going to outpace Kinect, because Kinect
Yeah,
is...
I'm getting a little worried about the Move.
You're looking at some of these games that came out for Kinect, and it's really kind of hard to see how they're going to be successful, especially these fighter games, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, we've talked about my love for Dance Central, and that's a Kinect game.
Yes, no, that's perfect.
But that's like a casual game that doesn't require you to do really rapid, fast movements.
Right.
And that's where the Move is going to be good, because it has the sensor control that the Wii has, and it also has the motion tracking with the camera.
I think any game for Kinect that takes what you do and grades it, because it's got an awesome camera system, is cool. Like, if there's a Simon Says game or something where it's Simon Says raise your right hand, you raise your right hand, and it reads that, and it's like, ding, that's cool. But if I have to like control an avatar that's supposed to be this really big hero, and I'm me, and I want to sit down and relax, like that's not, it's not fun.
There's just never going to be as responsive enough, I don't think. Like, having a controller, or like having the joysticks, you can feel the timing and the weight of stuff. Whereas like that, I just never see those being good.
Yeah.
Except for casual stuff, maybe.
Yeah, no, I mean...
Maybe Family Feud.
The game selection, I think Sony's...
Exactly.
Neither one of these two is really like, oh, this is going to be awesome. But Sony's looks like it's gonna be cheaper for the bundle than for the Kinect bundle. Although I think the Kinect bundle with the Xbox is going to be cheaper than the PlayStation bundle with the Move. But I don't think that... So the Move is more expensive, and the games that are coming out, like I would actually play Resident Evil 5 with the Move. I would actually play Heavy Rain with the Move. I think that Sony's doing the right thing there. And then you got all the casual games, like, is it Sports Champions that's on the... Is that Xbox or
not sure.
Sony? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's one
I'm
of
not
those.
sure
They're all
either.
just Wii Sports clones. So.
But we definitely will have a full lineup of information about the Move, because it is coming out very soon.
Yes.
Time is flying by.
If anybody wants to get me one, I'll give you my address.
Send
Just
us
send an
one.
email. Michael@thisweekend.com. I'm serious. Send me a Move. Why not?
Hey, can't hurt to ask.
Can't hurt to ask.
So
right?
our last story before we get into our awesome interview with Katon here, it's just a kind of little fun thing that I found for all you hardware lovers out there. It's Iron Man's Xbox 360. Now this was an eBay listing. This is some video. This was handcrafted by a passionate nerd labor. His name is Zachariah Perry Cruz. He created an Xbox 350, befitting of Tony Stark himself.
350.
System,
Wow, that's
360. I'm sorry. Did I choke on my own tongue? The system features a fire engine red chassis with metallic gold finished faceplate, custom blue LED ring illumination.
That looks awesome. It looks
the
sweet.
side panel, of course, you saw was modified to look like the Iron Man chest plate with the illuminated arc reactor. It's a 120 gigabyte hard drive, and of course, it has all the component cables.
And it's pretty cheap.
Things
right?
like that. Well, interesting. It was on eBay before. When the story came out originally, the bid was at $1,075 with over 22 bids actively upgrading themselves.
You thinking of getting it?
Now, no, what's interesting is that I went on today to try to get the most current bid on eBay, and it has been pulled. Zachariah has pulled the Xbox off of eBay and is going to do a private sale.
No.
So if you're interested in purchasing an Iron Man Xbox, if you have a friend out there that is a huge Iron Man fan, you can email him at pkmnjunkie@aol.com.
A private sale.
Private
on
sale.
eBay or?
No, he pulled the ad from eBay.
So did you say this is the Squat, the new Xbox? No, it's not. It's old.
No,
it's
it's an old Xbox.
Okay,
This isn't the new one, no.
Yeah, I call it the Xbox Squat.
It's just been really coolly modified.
Okay.
Why would anyone pay that much money for that thing?
Oh, I thought you said it was low.
Fanboys, absolutely.
I think people would pay more than that. I thought that was actually kind of low.
What does it do outside the normal Xbox?
I mean, people...
It lights up.
It's pretty,
It looks like an arc reactor. Come on.
No.
I mean, it's cool, but $1,200?
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, that is.
I wouldn't buy it, but I'm all about
It is
function over
cool.
form.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money for just something that you can say to, and that really nobody would care about besides like another nerd friend of yours. Like you show one person.
Come on,
look,
haven't you
it's
seen
cool.
some of those shows about collectors, about the money people pay from those random stuff?
But that's like official gear. Like if this was based off of the actual suit from the movie,
That'd be cool.
Then a collector would get it. But this is just a guy making it look like it. It's a pretty sweet mod.
That is cool.
I actually think that's low for a mod because it looks pretty expensive. Is that gold
Maybe
plating?
It costs a lot more than I realized to make.
Yeah. So, okay, that's our news for today. But right now, we are going to finally interview the man who's been sitting and talking about video games with us for a while and who played Scott Pilgrim with us, Katon Calloway. Woo! Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Belated welcome to you.
Thank you.
So Katon is senior artist at God of War. So he was the senior artist on God of War and really responsible, largely responsible for the opening and closing scenes in the game. Am I giving you too much credit?
I get a little too much
credit.
credit.
Well, you describe it. You describe it.
I'm a senior character artist on God of War 3. So I get concept art from the designers. And I'm like basically digital sculpting, like they're like maquettes. Like it's digital sculpting like on the computer like clay kind of, and then painting.
Wow. Yeah.
So I make the characters that you actually see in the game. I don't necessarily design them, but I sculpt them and paint them. Like,
So-
yeah, here.
yeah, look
so
at that.
Here's a few of them. I made a lineup of some of the guys I made
That's
in the game.
all Katon. That is all Katon.
So I
Isn't that
made these
crazy?
guys, like Zeus and.
Oh my gosh, that's
so that's like
ridiculous.
the kind of like clay, how it kind of looks when we're sculpting them.
Yeah.
But we
So-
use a stuff called a program called ZBrush.
Yeah.
That's like it's kind of like the closest thing we have to clay on the computer.
Dude, that's amazing.
And then we paint them like that. So like then we color them, so to speak, with things like Photoshop and whatnot. And once we're all done with it, then we hand it off to guys who like put, so to speak, like bones inside them.
Yeah, right. Make them,
And those
make
are
them
the IT
able to
guys.
animate, right?
Yeah, and like a puppet.
Yeah.
And then they give it to animators to animate it. So I did a small bit of the big thing.
See, here's the thing about Katon, and that's why I wanted us to show the images right off the bat, is he likes to play down certain things, but like, once he was like, yeah, so basically I just kind of airbrush some stuff and sculpt it a little bit and whatnot, you know, you're like, okay, that's cool. But once you show the images, it's like, what? Like, that came from you. You did that. That's amazing. Do you sculpt in
Thanks.
real life? I already know the answer.
A little, very little.
Come on, dude.
I
I've
only
seen
do,
your
I take
sculptures.
like classes, like figure sculpting, but mainly on the computer.
Well, what kind of figure sculpting do you do?
It's like figure drawing, figure sculpting, like just guys and girls, like nude.
like Statue of David type
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
stuff,
Kind
or
of.
are we talking something
Well, I mean, it's
a little
like-
more
really good.
like cartoony?
It's like just learning like your anatomy and
It's like-
whatnot. Because most of what we do, like to make things believable, you really got to know your anatomy, and you got to really know structure and form and like a lot of things. So a lot of the guys I work with, animators, character artists like me, the concept artists for sure.
Look at that. Wow.
So that actually was a character in our game that I got printed.
That's really awesome.
Oh, that's a print. That's a 3D print.
actual thing that I got 3D printed.
Wow.
And it's like 12 inches tall.
That's scary.
Of a character I made. So I posed him up.
That's awesome. You posed that too?
Yeah.
Wow.
Posed him.
Wow.
So I posed him and then
Wait, what does
I
that
got it
mean? I
printed.
posed him.
He made that pose.
So like if you
Oh,
saw,
okay.
there's a character earlier like this, Zeus standing. We call
Yes.
it like T-pose. And that's how we hand it off to the people to set them up like puppets. Yeah, like this one.
Nice, yeah.
Well, that's how we make them. And then the animators pose them usually and animate them, you know, like any movie or cartoon. And then, but for example, that character, the satyr, I took it and posed it myself in a program so that when it got printed, you know, I just did it myself. Because it was the sculpture. It wasn't like set up to be animated. So I had to do it.
So, do you ever sculpt anybody smiling? Because they all seem really angry.
Not usually. I had to work on Topher Grace once, and he kind of had to smile.
Oh, for
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man back when you were with Activision, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's about as
I
close
remember.
as it got.
I came in and I posed. I was a skin color for Spider-Man.
They were getting reference
game,
photos for people, and Michael, he
think
came in and they took photos of him. It was awesome.
I was the skin color for the Spider-Man.
Someone uses photos
character,
for
right?
like
Or
reference
something.
for some stuff.
Yes.
That's interesting. Well, I can imagine doing the human like set of teeth would be a kind of an intricate job. That why would you
Yeah.
want to bother with
right,
it if
right.
you don't have to, right?
Oh yeah, no, maybe not open face smile, like a little quirky.
No, we actually all those
yeah, right.
characters, all those characters have teeth on the
Really?
inside. Yeah.
Wow.
Because when they animate them, they're
like,
you know, they like snarl.
Yeah.
And so they have to have teeth.
So I remember I was lucky enough to get a tour of your workstation. I think it was like, what was that, like 2.5, 3 years ago?
Probably.
When you were working on God of War. Like, this game has been in production forever.
Yeah.
People don't realize how much work went
Yeah.
into God of War and how long you've been there.
Yeah.
But when I went there, I saw you working on these easels like this, right?
Oh yeah, they're called Cintiqs. They're
Yeah.
like monitors, and you can draw directly on them.
It's awesome.
Wow.
So
That was really
like,
sweet.
I don't know if you've ever seen tablets that's like a pen and it acts like a mouse.
Yeah.
And it relates, but they have Wacom makes these Cintiqs, and it's a monitor directly on it.
So when the iPad came out, you weren't exactly blown away.
I mean, it's cool. You can use your hands at least.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Instead of using like a stylus, right?
yeah, we use stylus.
Yeah.
But the hands would be hard. It'd be like big nubbies, like trying to.
Yeah. It'd be like using the paint tool, you know, with like the thick dot that you drag across the screen.
But
So-
yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say we were in production forever, like you said.
So long,
Like
man.
I was on God of War 3. I was on pre-production God of War 3 before they ended God of War 2. So I was on the game for like 3 years, 3 months, I think, before it came out.
I think that the general gaming audience doesn't have any kind of idea how much
work.
production work goes into some of these games. And that's why it's so interesting when some of them flop. You know, it's like, it's almost kind of like a movie that flops, you know what I mean? You're spending all of these millions and millions of dollars to develop something, and then if it doesn't sell, you know, you just have this awesome piece of art that doesn't sell.
It's people's lives.
It's
true.
a big risk, actually.
So Eric, I'm not sure how you say it, ERIKCH says in the chat room, what kind of background do you have, Katon? Art degree?
You know, it's a very mixed bag, like what everyone have. I actually don't. I have an associate's degree from a community college. I luckily got an internship at a studio back in Colorado, a little animation studio, and learned a lot there. And then I just went to community college and did art classes. So kind of like an art degree, I guess.
Right, right.
And just worked on my portfolio like a ton, like took drawing classes, that sort of thing, and just like the guys I worked with were really helpful, and I learned a lot from them. And then through just portfolio, I got a job, and through contacts, like luckily, you know.
People
But
realizing
it's just
you're
a lot
good.
of portfolio, like what we do is just portfolio.
Yeah.
But then I work with guys that went to art school, you know? So there's all sorts of, like one guy I work with went to Vancouver Film School, our friend Tyler.
Okay, yeah.
That's the route he went, because where
didn't know
he's
he went
from,
to
Idaho.
Vancouver. Oh.
He's from Idaho, or Iowa, I mean, and there's nothing really out there for that.
Right,
so he's like, well, I'm going to go to VFS. Whereas I got really fortunate that there's a little studio where I was at. So that's where I learned a lot.
Did you originally think that you were going to go into video games when you started doing animation? Was it always like, I'm doing video games, I want to make video game characters?
Yeah, kind of.
That's cool though, because you wouldn't think that most people because the artists that I know are like these hoity-toity, like intellectual, like abstract artists that like almost look down on people who do video games.
I
I'm
threw
like,
my
you don't get
feces
how
on the
much,
wall and sold it for
I think
$5
some
mil.
people who have never done video animation don't necessarily know how intricate and how you know skilled you have to be.
Yeah. It's true. You know what? I wish we could spend longer with you. I didn't get to ask you all the questions I wanted, but we'll have to have you back for the showdown anyway. So
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I'm ready.
But right now we got to wrap the show up. Before we go, just wanted to add a quick little mini segment. We got an awesome piece of fan mail. We're not going to read it on the air right now, but it's from a guy named Lali in Bangalore, India, which is in South Asia. And he told us he stumbled upon our podcast and he watched like all 8 of them in a row, and he was a huge fan, and he gave us some suggestions for top 5s. And so Andrea and I are going to collaborate on the top 5 single-player games of all time and present that to you in a couple of weeks.
That's a big list.
Yeah, that's what he wanted.
That's what we said
But you know
too.
what?
We were
He
like,
wrote
how
us
do we
such
narrow
a
it down?
nicely thought-out email, and if you
Good
guys
luck.
want to email us, we love hearing from people and hearing ideas. You know, ideas for segments, ideas for top 5s, ideas for anything you want to throw out there. It's videogames@thisweekend.com. Definitely send a shout out to us. We will respond to you. And so now we got to wrap up the show.
Absolutely. I just want to remind you guys that we have some really cool guests coming on next week. We're going to have the producers from the WCG's reality show Ultimate Gamer.
Yeah.
They're in season 2 right now. It just started. It actually comes on tonight. So if you guys want to check it out so you can get an idea of what the show is before the producers come on next week. So look forward to that. I have an awesome video review of Madden NFL 11. Plus, of course, we're going to have another showdown. If you guys want to email me, you can reach me at Andrea@thisweekend.com, or you can email us at videogames@thisweekend.com. Be sure to find us on Facebook and become a fan of our page. We always love hearing from you guys. Post on our wall, share links, all kinds of stuff. We love hearing from you. I think we say that all the time because we truly mean it. You can also find me on Twitter at AndreaRenee or AndreaRenee.com.
And I'm Michael Ludden. You can find me on Twitter at Michael_LUDDEN. Or you can find me on YouTube at Ludden Media. Katon, where can we find you?
CobraCaptain.com.
Okay, yes. And there's a lot of your art samples on there and whatnot, right?
Some. I haven't fully updated it.
I
There's
just checked
some
it the
God
other
of War
night.
3
It looks
stuff.
pretty current.
There might be God of War 3 stuff on there that I don't have it yet. Or you
Okay,
didn't
cool.
see. I'm not sure.
And you can find us This Week in Video Games. Thank you so much for coming on, by the way, buddy. That was awesome. Of
course.
You can find us This Week in Video Games at videogames@thisweekin.com. If you want to shoot us an email, find us on Twitter, TWI Video Games, or like you said, on Facebook, become a fan. That's awesome. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but you know what? That's all the time we have. So stay tuned for This Week in Music. But for right now, it's game over.